All right, in this section, we're going to go ahead and create the obstacles. We're going to start off creating a new node for the obstacles. Then we're going to go ahead and add a sprite and an area 2D. We're also going to go ahead and create a simple script to play their movement animation. Now let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, let's go ahead and get started creating the obstacles. These are going to be like the spikes where the player has to avoid them to win the game. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to create a new node for this. Let's right click, add child node. We're going to go ahead and create a node 2D. Let's call this obstacles. Perfect. And then we'll house all of them in here. Let's go ahead and create the first one. We're going to again do another node 2D. And you know what? Instead of a node 2D, let's actually change this type to a character body because we want to give it some movement. All right. Perfect. Change the name. Let's do a spike. And we'll just call this spike 1. Perfect. Let's also go ahead and let's give this a sprite 2D. So let's go ahead, sprite 2D. Now I'm using the saw.png. I dragged and dropped this in here. So go ahead and use this if you want to. You can use another one, but I think this looks pretty good with the game. Awesome. Let's also shrink it a little bit. Let's go ahead to transform and shrink it to about 0.8 for X and Y. Perfect. All right. Now we just need to give it an area 2D, similar to how we did it with the spikes on the bottom. So let's go ahead, add area 2D. Let's give it the same group that we made, the spike one. So simply just select that there and it will have it. Let's also go ahead and create a collision shape. And let's go back to inspector. Let's go ahead, do new circle shape. Zoom in a bit and just simply grow that to about the same size as it. Perfect. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and close that there. Let's put it in the position we want. I'm going to put it in simply over here on the right. Put it kind of low at first because this is going to be the starting position. All right, let's go ahead and give it a simple script now for the movement. Let's go ahead and select spike, add the script, get rid of the _1 because we're going to reuse this for other spikes. Make sure we're saving this in the correct location though. Platform game, open that up. Let's go ahead, create. All right, so this is going to be a pretty simple script. We just basically want it to move up and down. So let's go ahead and do that with an @export first. Let's give it a value of move _ distance. And we're simply going to make that a type float and equal it to 80.0. Okay, awesome. We're also going to have an @export variable. This is going to be representing the current move speed. Okay, and this is also going to go ahead, be a type float. And we're going to equal that to, again, let's do 80.0. Awesome. All right, we're also going to go ahead, create a variable. We're going to call this original _y. This is going to be a type float. Then we're also going to create another variable. We're going to call this moving _up. All right, and this is going to go ahead, equal a bool as false. Perfect. All right. Let's create the first function for this. This is simply going to be our ready function. And all we're going to do is we're going to set our original y equal to our current global position .y. All right, awesome. Because again, we need to house this value so we can reuse it and go back to it. All right, now we'll give it the actual movement, and that's going to be done in our function _process. All right, and within this, we're simply going to go ahead, start off, say if moving up. If that's true, then we're going to go ahead. We're going to set our global position .y minus equals move speed times delta. All right, perfect. Then after that, we're going to say if our current global position .y is less than or equal to our original y minus the move distance. Then we're going to go ahead and we're simply going to set our global position .y equal to original y minus move distance. All right, perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and set our moving up equal to false now. All right, perfect. And then we can go ahead and simply do an else for the opposite movement. So within that else, we're going to go ahead, set our global position .y plus equals move speed times delta. And then we're going to go ahead, we're going to say if global position dot y is greater than or equal to original y. Then we're going to go ahead, set our global position dot y equal to original y. And then simply set our moving up equal to true. Perfect. Awesome. Let's go ahead and save that real quick. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put a couple more spikes in the game. So I'm going to close this one here. Let's go ahead, select this one, move it on over here to the right. And I'm going to go ahead, put some more, one over here and one over here. And then let's put one more right before the end. So let me go ahead and move that there, and one more right about here. Perfect. Awesome. All right, looks good there, and we'll be able to see this one move. So let me close up each of these spikes. Let's save what we got. Let's go ahead, play current scene, and we should see that move up and down, which there it is. Awesome. All right, looks good. Let's go ahead, close that. Let's save what we got, and looking good.